Today I am super excited to show you this find and talk about what my thoughts were on it and how it came to be. So today I have pulled around my English server behind me so that you could see the extent, the volume of this find. Isn't that amazing? 108 Limoges, France dishes. I was just thrilled to find this, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the process, what happens when I find something like this. So first, let me say, I always start out on the way to the thrift store with a talk to myself in the car, sometimes out loud, sometimes in my brain saying, okay, Karen, stay focused, high profit thrift finds, nothing too heavy or breakable. And there's a disconnect when I go in that store, whatever store I'm at, and I find something this amazing. Now, many of you know I always talk about that I'm not thrilled with finding or shipping dishes, but sometimes you gotta break the rules, and that's where I'm at. Now, you have to have a lot of courage to ship breakables on this level. I won't be selling this all together as a set. It will be in parts because I've shipped almost 100 dishes in one shipment before, and that lesson I learned very quickly. I would never do that again. So today we're going to talk about this great find and a few others that I have on the table here that I thought were really interesting. So get yourself a cup of tea and let's get started. First, I want to talk about the clues that I use to alert my senses that the find may be something. When you go to different thrift stores and the shelves are inundated with, just a huge amount of items, sometimes it's hard to stay focused or zoom in on what the big profit item might be. So I have learned when I'm looking at a long shelf to break up the shelves in vertical sections. I have trained my mind to shop not across the shelf, but down the shelves. Now, I don't know if that's going to work for everybody, but that has been a game changer for me. I go down the aisle, I take the first section, I section it off in my mind. Sometimes it is the actual shelf where the seam of the shelf is and the next one starts. And sometimes it's just maybe 6 or 8 feet and then the height of it. So it might be 5 shelves, but 6 or 8 feet big. And I go across like I'm reading a book. And that's how I've learned to identify the items that I want to look at. It's very systematic. Another clue that helped me find this great find was when the employee was wheeling out the cart, where they were restocking the shelves, out came items that were in these carriers. Do you guys know these? These are a quilted, padded carrier or storage container for good china. Now this tells me two things when I look at it even from afar. This tells me that the previous owner cared very much about these dishes because they had all of these dishes in these carriers. So when the dishes came out, the dishes themselves weren't showing, but the quilted carriers were showing. Right away, I want to look at the item. The second clue is the age of this carrier. Now, I don't really know the ages of the different patterns that the companies put these out, but you can tell by this carrier that it has age to it. You can see that it's a little bit discolored, a little dusty looking. It was in storage for a long time. Those are the clues that you want to use to identify that what's inside that you can't see yet might be of great value or great interest at least. So all of these dishes behind me came out in these carriers. Now, because the carriers are so dirty and so kind of just worn looking, I will not be using these carriers to ship the items, but what I will be using are these foam, here's one of the plates, these foam inserts. Look at that, isn't that amazing? A teacup fits right in there with its handle. This goes inside the teacup, and not only do you get to buy the dishes, you get to buy what's gonna help you ship the dishes. Great find. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because that has been a great help to me. So now let's take a look at the dishes themselves, and I'll talk a little bit about why I picked these up. Little disclaimer, I don't know a lot about China. I want to encourage you guys that, for those of you that think I have a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, I so don't. I really don't. There are a few things that I've learned along the way in my 6 years of selling, but the majority of the items, I'm doing what you have to do, is just look at the item, try to tell its quality, try to tell the telltale signs if it was really valuable to somebody, like in other words, they bought all the quilted padded organizers, and then look at the markings. I'm all about the branding. Now me myself, I don't wear a lot of high-end brands. My handbags, I think I have one Michael Kors, but branding is something I pay very much attention to. To me, that's one of the biggest clues of what you have. If the manufacturer put a lot of time, care, and design into their branding, that means that they have quality in their product most of the times, and the product is going to have longevity. It's not a fly-by-night, just a quick flip, disposable item, as we say nowadays. So with having said that, I'm going to show you the back of one of the plates from this set, and we'll learn together and talk about what the telltale signs are. So first I'm going to show you the pattern. This is a dinner plate, if you can see that. It's a floral design. Now, I am a master gardener, but I'm very out of experience. I'm very out of touch with flowers and names of flowers. So I have to try to figure out what flower they're trying to show here. And I said, okay, maybe that looks like a violet. I'll name flowers in my head, maybe a pansy. That's going to be a clue to help me find the pattern of the plate. So that's where you start with that. So now let's take a look at the back of the plate so you can see the amount of marks or branding on the china. Can you guys see that? Is that focusing? Limoges, or pronounced correctly, Limoges. Limoges was made in France and the United States, as far as I can tell. I don't know if it's been made in other countries, but Limoges has markings to denote the artist that made or designed the plate. This is made by Jean Pouillet in France, and the markings that you see on the back denote the date that this pattern or plate was produced, this set was produced. So the marking on these plates is JP Limoges, or JPL. It doesn't have the H for Haviland. Some of the plates have an H for Haviland. This one has a W. I'm not exactly sure what the W means, but I will do further research to learn about them. And these plates were produced from 1890 to 1932. This exact pattern dates to 1900. That tells me that all of my dishes in pristine condition are from 1900. They were actually produced then. So a wonderful find. I'm more than thrilled. I won't sell it as a set that I have to ship. I will sell it as a set to one person for local pickup on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. So it's already posted there, and I will be working on it in separate lots for eBay. Now what I do is once one of the lots sell, I take it down from the local places, and then I'm committed to selling it in groups or in sets. A set this large is probably going to be 20 to 30 listings, because I'll sell 4 cups at a time for salad plates, bread plates. I do have the complete set, and I would love to show you guys some of the pieces that are just stunning. So I'm going to grab some of the pieces and we'll look at them together. So the complete set is a service for 12, plus it has all the serving pieces. I don't have salt and pepper, and I don't have a butter dish. I'm not entirely sure if that was in the original set, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a few of the pieces that are in the service for 12. So first, what I've already shown is the dinner plate. Next up would be the sandwich plate. I think this might also be a salad. Next we have bowls. So individual, not a vegetable bowl, not a serving bowl, but the bowl for the service. The next one would be a cake plate or dessert plate. next one I'm not entirely sure about. It could be the waste plate. Sometimes they laid a waste plate or a bowl for bones or things that you desired not to eat, that you would put it on a separate plate. I could be wrong about the use of this plate, but I believe that's what this plate is, or it might be the bread plate. This is the next smaller plate to this size, so this might be, I believe this might be the waste plate, or this could be, it's a shallow bowl, maybe something for an ice cream or something like that. And last but not least is the cup and saucer. Just beautiful, fine bone china, gold embellishment. I don't believe the gold is 18 karat gold. I don't see anything to denote that. But again, further research is needed, so I will learn about that. And next I'm going to show you some of the big serving pieces. This is the large, I believe this is the poultry plate or the meat serving plate. This would be when the main roast came out and it had like potatoes and vegetables around it. It's definitely a presentation piece that would sit in the middle of the table. I'm imagining this plate would be like a roasted potato or a smaller second choice meat, maybe a fish, something like that. So there's that plate. We have the gravy bowl with the attached underplate. This next bowl would be a relish bowl, or it could even be for a side, something like grilled onions or something like that. So there's that one. This last one is a covered vegetable bowl. This could be for potatoes, vegetables, or even a small cassoulet. Just beautiful. So I hope I haven't bored you too much with dishes. I'm pretty excited about this find. Now collectively as a set, I'm imagining if the right buyer came along, all the stars aligned, I'm thinking between $700 and $900 for the sale. I don't know that this would happen very quickly. Somebody really has to want this pattern, really appreciate the brand and the markings, and you're really waiting for that right buyer. Most likely this set will wind up selling piece by piece and will take up to 2 years. But here's the clincher for me. As many of you know, I received a free Goodwill gift card from buying a prior gift card. So I bought a gift card for $5,000 and got $1,000 for free. This set was bought as part of that purchase. So I received this for free. On top of that, for some reason, this whole set was marked $15. So even if I didn't have the free gift card, it was marked $15. But here's the greatest part. It was during a sale. You buy something for $15, and I believe the discount was $5. So the whole set was $10, but I got it for free. How could you walk away from something like that? So am I crazy to buy dishes of this magnitude? Absolutely. Am I fearful of it? Absolutely not. I mean, this is so beautiful. How could I just let this go into the bins, or how could I pass it by? So that's my thinking. I am a long tail seller. If I sit on the set for 2 years, it doesn't bother me. I don't have anything invested in it, and it's just gorgeous. If I was living a prior lifestyle with entertaining a lot, I might keep this set. Not really my taste. I have very plain taste, but the quality is beautiful, and I'm really hoping that the right buyer finds it to appreciate it. So thanks for sticking with this part of this haul, this long dish haul, and now let's talk about some other finds that I found the same shopping trip. Okay, moving onward. The next item that I saw was this clock. Now at first when I found it, I thought that this was plastic. But this is actually porcelain and just beautiful. Can you guys see that? It has a wood frame, very heavy. It's not one of the plastic ones. Sometimes you see remakes and the company that made it really just made it plastic, and it's something that sold at like, I don't know, a 5 and 10 type of place. Am I dating myself? Do they even have 5 and 10s anymore? I'm not quite sure. So the brand of this is CEARCO. I've never heard of that brand. And as you can see, I paid $9.99, or the price was $9.99, but I received this for free. So I said yes to this. It is quite heavy, and I don't think, oh, the little hand is bent. I don't think the mechanism is working. I did put a fresh battery in it, and I'm gonna have to take a closer look at it, but I'm convinced even if the clock is not working, still a great pickup, and I said yes to this one. The next item that I picked up was a DVD set. Now, a lot of times I only look briefly through books. You guys know I like to pick up Bibles, and I don't do a lot of DVDs, and I don't do a lot of video games. I know there's a lot of money to be made in those things, but I don't know a lot of that, and that's a real rabbit hole for me, so I try to stay away from rabbit holes as much as I can. But the next set that I picked up was banded together, and these are all National Geographic sealed in package. I don't think any of these have been opened. So I imagine that this was either sent, now this is totally a guess, to a contributor to PBS or something like that. I've never seen the set like this in these thin, you can tell this was acquired together as a set. Maybe they do sell sets like this, maybe in a book looking thing, it sits on your shelf. But I bought, well, I keep saying I bought, but all of these things, guys, today were free. I got for free. So this is a complete set. What do I have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. I have 15 DVDs by National Geographic, and I said yes to this. Okay. Another item that I found, I've slowed down on picking up coffee mugs, but the rule is, unless they're really cute, really pretty, or Starbucks, of course, I'm still doing the Starbucks mugs, and I do sell them, but no big woohoos yet in Starbucks mugs. I'm hoping to find the one from like Tanzania or something that nobody has, and I'll just make $1 million on it. But these mugs are not Starbucks. These are a vintage Asian. There's a name to this style. I'm gonna butcher it. I think it's Moriari, M-I-O-I-O. I'm not sure how to say that. I'm gonna put it down here, Moriari, something like that. And I said yes to these. Now it is supposed to be a set of 6, but somehow I wound up with only 5 of them. And I'm not sure if I lost a cup somewhere or I just didn't realize that I was missing a cup, but no worries, I'll still sell the set of 5, and they're just beautiful. They have like a beautiful peacock design, floral, and again, they're all marked Japan. So I said yes to them. What did I pay for these? The set was, see if the sticker is still on it, $3.99. It was supposed to be for 6 pieces, so I paid a little bit over 80 cents a mug, if my math is right. It's probably wrong, but I said yes to those. The next item is a set of bookends. I do quite the business with bookends, and these are an Asian or Oriental, beautiful red bird. Okay, what kind of bird is that? Partridge? I'm not quite sure. You guys can leave guesses of what type of bird. If we have anybody that knows aviary, is that the study of birds? Audubon? Something like that. I'm just making stuff up now. But I got the 2, quite heavy. And again, somebody was putting these back and they said, do you want these? And I said, yeah, I'll take those. So really pretty, kind of a red paint on top. Oh, what did I pay for it? Well, I paid free. Okay, the next thing I grabbed, I don't know if this is anything, but going with the flow, are Hallmark keepsake Star Wars ornaments. So they seem to be new in damaged boxes. And we got Darth Vader being Santa Claus, it looks like. Let's see if that's Darth Vader being Santa Claus. Is that Darth Vader being Santa Claus? It looks like it. I don't know who this is. General Grievous, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. We got that one. This is Sith Apprentice Darth Maul. You can tell I'm really up on my Star Wars characters. Oy. This next one is Han Solo to the rescue. I like him. And the last one is the Interceptor. So I took him. Now they do appear, like I said, to be new in box. I will gently open the boxes to make sure the correct ornament is in there and to kind of ascertain whether they are new or if they've been hung on a tree. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all together. I will be selling them together. I don't want to do ornaments separate, and I'll be posting them most likely after the holiday, but that doesn't bother me. I sell Christmas decorations clear into January. I think when people realized that they needed something else for their tree, or they were lacking something, for the theme that they had going on, they go in and look. And sometimes I feel that the buyers are thinking they're going to get a great deal, which I do put my whole store on sale every 48 hours, almost continuously, and that's the way I run the business. The next item is you won't be interested in this, but I thought this is a great point that I've talked about before, that I love this. This is 64, well, it was originally 64 twin blade razors from Berkley & Jensen. And it looks like one of the packs are missing, but they're all new in package. So even though I don't use this razor system, I love having this ability, if I'm going to travel, just to throw a razor in an overnight bag or something like that, and then not caring about bringing my good razor home. So I paid $3, but again, it was free. All of this was free. Did I mention it was free? It was all free. Okay. One more item, and then we'll end for the day. This is just a little duck. I believe this is pen and ink. It has the consultant, the customer, and it does have the artist's name, 108 of 300. So if it's 108 of 300, that means that these are remakes, a lithograph, or a reprint. I don't think an artist would sit there and draw the same duck 300 times. At least I hope they wouldn't have to do that. But I love stuff like this, and there are a lot of duck hunters out there, people that love wildlife, people that have a certain species where they live, and this is very small, so I said yes to this. $1.99 was what Goodwill wanted, and how much did I pay? I got it for free, so great find. So for those of you who need me to recap of how I got all of these items for free, Goodwill in my area, I am in central Pennsylvania, the Keystone area, puts out a promotion once a year. You buy a $50 gift card and you get a $10 gift card for free on top of the $50. It's a separate gift card. And that promotion saves you 20% because $10 off of $50 is 20%. So it's like either getting a 20% sale or just looking at it like you got, $10 worth for free. But there's no limit to how many gift cards you can buy. So once a year, I buy $5,000 of gift card, and it's put on one gift card. So I have a gift card. I don't carry it with me. I have a gift card that's worth $5,000, and for that $5,000 gift card purchase, Goodwill gave me a $1,000 gift card. Everything I buy with that $1,000 gift card is free, and on top of it, I use it on sales. So this is a great opportunity. I do hear that Goodwill is very successful with this promotion and they will be extending it to other areas. Now, I don't know that for sure, but that's what one of the management employees told me. So that will be great news. You could check with your Goodwill if they're doing that promotion. I believe it ran from Black Friday till December 24th. And I make sure to put away capital every year to buy that $5,000 gift card. I mean, you could buy a $10,000 gift card and get $2,000 free, but because I purchase in many stores, I don't want to lock myself into just Goodwill. I am all over the place, and I set aside X amount of capital each year for known purchases that I'm going to make. So I know that I'm going to spend way more than $5,000 per year in Goodwill itself. And yeah, so that explains, if you didn't know, how I get all of these items for free. Well, I think I'm going to end this video. I've been very chatty. I'm really thrilled about my dishes find. Check back with me when I have to ship all of these dishes and I'm complaining on Instagram like, oh, more dishes. Let me just say, with the USPS postal increase this January, I will be shipping anything heavy through FedEx home ground delivery. That's the service I use. I do look at Pirate Ship. I have an account with them, but a lot of times Pirate Ship is still higher than the FedEx home ground delivery. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday if I don't get to jump on before Christmas. And as usual, go out and get what's yours. Bye, guys. Okay, so today I'm going to show how I ship this lamp. Let me adjust this a little bit. This is a Tiffany style lamp that I recently showed on the haul video, and I had two of these. The first one sold and I packed it out, and now this one has sold right after it, and I figured I would show you guys how I ship breakables, heavy breakables. So this lamp, I believe, sold for 80 something dollars, I forget, $88 I think, and I'm going to ship it out via FedEx home ground delivery. I'm finding that option, even though I have to drive there as compared to USPS picking up at my house, is better because the cost to the buyer is less expensive. Now, let me just say that almost all of my items have shipping is paid by the buyer, but I still always look for the least expensive option to offer them because I know shipping can get out of hand and really make buying online cost prohibitive. With Amazon offering free shipping on everything, it really makes it a competitive market. So like I said, I will drive the extra 10-15 minutes, try to group this in with my daily shopping and take it from there. So let me just show you how I ship this and we'll get started. So the first thing I do is take a couple of layers of tissue paper to protect the finish of the lamp. I then lay the lamp down. I'm going to actually adjust this camera. Whoops. Okay. And I wrap several pieces of tissue paper or packing paper around the shade. Sorry for the loud, noisy tape. So I loosely tape it. As you can see, it's not really, not really tight, but this protects the finish and just gives a little bit extra cushion to the shade. The next thing I do is take a small bubble wrap. I believe this is the 1/4 inch size, and I put it in any hollow areas of the shade. So the shade, I guess I should turn it that way, gets packed out with bubble wrap. And that's what that looks like. In order to ship breakables, you really have to have a lot of supplies on hand, in my opinion. I keep large amounts of packing material in inventory so that shipping breakables is not so daunting. I have everything I need, I'm prepared, I'm ready to go. So next step is putting bubble wrap around the whole shade. I'm going to double this end here. Make sure it comes, let's adjust this. Make sure it comes around this edge. You really want to protect the edges. Lots of tape, lots of bubble wrap, lots of paper. Okay, and that's what that looks like. I hope this angle is okay for you guys. I'm going to bring this piece around this way, making sure that I have enough to cover the edge. So I'm going to adjust this again. There we go. Put that up that way. I find these cheap dispensers are easier for me to use than the taping guns. I've had a plastic taping gun, I've had a metal one, and I actually prefer these. I picked these up in Target, and they usually come with a roll, and then my eBay tape fits on this dispenser also. Let's keep taping. You really want this bubble wrap to be secure around the item. One more piece of tape, and that side is good. Now we'll get another piece of bubble wrap and do the same thing on the other side. Again, cuffing it over so that the edge is double protected. Get rid of that cord. Okay, this piece now comes up at an angle, like this, and over. I'm going to double this again. Okay, so at that point, this is what this looks like. The whole shade of the lamp is secure. And then we're going to do this base of the lamp and also the cord. So I usually take the cord and just kind of, wire it up with a bread tie. This also will get a piece of bubble wrap to keep it from hitting any part of the lamp. I feel like I could do this in my sleep. I've done this so many times. As a matter of fact, I do have eBay dreams and reselling dreams. I don't know if you guys do, but sometimes I dream about thrifting and finding amazing finds. My whole life is reselling. Okay, so now we have the shade wrap and the cord wrap. Now we're going to wrap this base with bubble wrap. First goes on the tissue paper, again to protect the finish. Tissue paper really doesn't protect for breakage. It's just protecting, this goes outside, the finish of the item, the paint or the shellac, whatever the item has. And this I'm just going to go wrap around. It's okay that the little piece has broken through. Okay, now we're going to take more bubble wrap and wrap the base of the lamp. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I want to bring the cuffed piece down for where the base starts. And we're going to use our judgment. Yep, that's right about good. Lots of tape. Okay, and we'll cuff these pieces in. Okay, so this is our wrapped lamp, tissue paper, bubble wrap, lots of tape, and it is secure. Now this will go inside of a box that's a little bit bigger in dimensions so that it can be surrounded and not touch the inside box walls. You really want to make sure when you're shipping fragile items to not have any of the edges touch the inside box walls. That way packing material will surround it and it has to be kept stable within that box. So let's go ahead and do that and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to just shoot this from this angle to talk about the packing materials I use. I've hung above this shipping station, I've hung a closet pole, and on that pole will hang my tissue paper, bubble wrap. Right now that missing section is packing paper because I've just taken out a new ream of it. This packing paper is from Walmart. It is the Duck brand, same people that put out packing tape, and it is like a craft paper. It's a little bit heavier than tissue paper. I will use that to scrunch up and secure the item in the box so it has no movement. I also use these packing peanuts from Office Depot. I try to wait for a sale because I buy very great quantities of this. I always love the sale buy one get one, but sometimes I can only get the sale buy two get one. This bag of packing peanuts is biodegradable, earth friendly, and it does cost more. One of these bags, which is 5 cubic feet, I believe is $35. So you can see that this is very expensive in my opinion. But let me just say that I always build the cost of my packing materials into the shipping cost. So when I calculate shipping, I keep in mind the size of the box, the weight of the finished item, and what the packing materials approximately will cost me. That way I don't have to worry about overuse of materials, eating up the profit. So I've chosen this box for this lamp. Now you can see the box is quite a bit taller and I won't need that much space. So I've had this tool for a while now. This is a box adjuster, I think this is called. I got that on Amazon. I'll try to remember to link that down below. This is great. It only costs, I think this was under $20, and this tool cuts down boxes so that you're not shipping items out in an oversized box, because now with dimensional weight, which is the size of the box incorporated into the cost, you want to keep your box as small as possible with still ensuring that the item, has plenty of room for packing around it. So those are the items that I use. Packing peanuts from Office Depot at this point. This ream of packing paper. The tissue paper, either eBay or I buy it at Costco, surrounds the item to protect the finish. Bubble wrap, again, Office Depot. I wait for sales. I buy them in 200 feet of the 1/4 inch bubble. And I will buy 20 of these at a time because I have the room to store it. And let's go ahead and cut down the box and I'll show you what that looks like. So I've placed the lamp in the box and I see that I really don't have a lot of extra room in the height of this box. That might seem like I have an additional couple of inches. I'm going to put this tool on there to see what this looks like. But in actuality, it would only be cutting off a couple of inches. This tool is used by placing this stop guide along the top of the flap of the box. And then it has this cutter wheel that makes a perforation in the box, and then where it has perforated it or put dotted lines, the new flap will be created, if that makes sense. So normally I would cut down this box a little bit, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use the box the way it is because the lamp is so fragile. I really want to make sure that I pack it out well to ensure that the buyer gets the lamp in great condition. So the first thing I'm going to use are plastic recycle bags from shopping. Most times I use the bags that I get at thrift stores. I make sure the bags are really clean, they have no hairs or fuzzes. Once in a while I will use grocery store bags, but the majority of the time I don't do that unless I'm positive that the bags only had dry goods. I will never use bags from produce, dairy, meat, those type of items, because you never know if something had a little bit of a leak, and I would never want the buyer to open their box and the box have an off smell. But today I'm positive I picked up dry goods, just crackers and things, and I'm going to go ahead and reuse these bags. These bags are not great for the environment at all, so in my opinion, as many times as we can use these bags, the better, until they stop making them. So let's go ahead and put those in the bottom. Okay, and as you can see, it's just a loose fill of those bags. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in packing peanuts. Doesn't really take a lot. You can see there's just a few of them in there, and I make sure that the packing peanuts are filling in any of the little spaces. Next, I'm going to crumple up the craft paper. I call this craft paper. I guess it could also be called newspaper paper. You can get reams of this, I've heard, at newspaper publishing houses, I guess that's called. But I go ahead and buy it. I really don't have time to travel to the place that would maybe, be giving that out for free. I do love that idea, but the closest one to me is probably 45 minutes to an hour away. Not worth it. I'd rather pick this up. I believe this is 200 sheets. I'm gonna have to take a look at this, for $15, which is a little bit pricey, but well worth it. I use this paper to stabilize the lamp within the box. It does provide cushion also, but it's more about keeping that lamp in the center of the box, surrounded by the packing peanuts and the bags and whatever I use. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I hope you can see this. I'm holding the camera at a funny angle, but I scrunched up the packing paper and put it in the four corners of the box. This is going to help keep that lamp centrally located. And now we're ready to put the lamp in. Some of the other packing items I use are pieces of styrofoam and these pillow packs. I just go around collecting this stuff. My postal carrier, Bob, is wonderful. He and his wife will give me all of their packing materials and they bring them to the house. So thank you, Bob and wife. I won't mention her name in case of, for privacy, but I'm thrilled to get items like this. And this is great. Whenever you choose your packing materials, you want to make sure that what you're adding to your box is very lightweight. And styrofoam, as horrible as it is a great packing material. So I love receiving extra shipping supplies for free. And this is what the box looks like. We've put the pillow packs on either side, the styrofoam on front and back, and filled in any of the little spaces with packing peanuts. I'm going to go ahead and top this off with a few packing peanuts and then put this extra piece of pillow pack on top of it. So the box is closing just fine, but it does need a little squeeze close to make sure these seams meet up top. So sometimes, instead of going to the gym, I will just hold it with my legs and start the taping that way. So there you have it, one Tiffany style desk lamp or piano lamp or banker's lamp, all those names, packed and ready to go. Now I do add fragile stickers that I've bought on Amazon. I just buy them by the roll, and these stickers do not cost any extra in the shipping method. USPS does sell fragile stickers that buy extra special handling care, but that's a different product. These are just regular fragile stickers sold, pretty much any stationery, Amazon, that just show the buyer that you cared and to let the carrier know that there is something breakable inside. I really don't buy into the idea that when postal carriers or USPS service carriers see these items, they're going to treat them more roughly. I really don't think that's a thing, but what do I know? So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and weigh it, put the final dimensions of the box, all three dimensions, length, height, and width, into the listing and produce a label. This is a first shot of the dining room in my house, which I used to use as a photography studio for eBay items and for making YouTube videos. I've recently taken a back bedroom and put all of the eBay photography items back there, and that's where all the items come into now for taking my listings photos. And I figured I'd take you guys along on this journey. So the goal in 2020 is to turn my dining room into a YouTube studio. Here are the first attempts. I have my ring light, and I've purchased these square lights. I really don't know what these are called, but they're nice and bright, and as you can see, I get great daylight even with the curtains closed. I chose a curtain that's almost like a cheesecloth. I don't know what this is called, muslin maybe, but this curtain gives filtered sunlight so I don't get washed out. And I hung these curtains swinging around. The color in here is kind of like an antique yellow on the walls, and I will be changing that. This is the English server that I've always had. I've always held on to this, but I no longer really have a large dining room set, so I might be rethinking this furniture piece. I had the thought of painting it with like a chalk paint, but I don't think I want to do that to this piece. It's just beautiful. So I might put this piece in another area of my house. I might sell it. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen to that. My goal is to have a table on wheels. You know me, I love my wheels, so that when I load it up with items that I'm going to show on YouTube for a whole video, I can easily pull it around. This backdrop I saw on somebody else's channel. This is, I will link it down below. I believe it's called Gold Sequin or Gold Glitter. It is a 5x7, just a thin piece of plastic. And I thought that was really pretty, so I purchased that on Amazon. I think it was under $20, and I'm not sure about the color yet, but we shall see. I picked up these pom-pom type hanging balls, which are made out of flower petals. Really pretty. Got those from Hobby Lobby. They were on clearance, but they were only marked down a few dollars. I believe I paid, we can take a look. I paid $14 a puffy flower pom-pom ball, and I thought I might either hang those or do something with those. As you can see, my old chandelier. I have brought this everywhere I have moved. I love this light. I bought this at a yard sale. Let me see if I can just swing around and hit the light shade, the light. I bought that at a yard sale for $50 and painted it. Needs another coat of paint, but I just love this light, so I'm keeping that. And this is the original wall that I just painted white for eBay photos, but now have changed my mind. I did take quite a few photos against this wall, changed my mind to have this be for YouTube. So if you swing around, I have a break front. Some of my eBay items are in there. And as you know, I keep all of my shipping supplies that are in this room in that break front, always shipping supplies. And on this wall, I have a mirror, as you can see, to bounce the light around. I want this room to be as light and as bright as possible. I should have opened the curtain so you guys could see how sunny this room gets. I have old wood floors that I'm probably going to put a big rug down. I think my colors are going to be grays, lavenders, maybe some pink in there. I'm not quite sure. So we shall see. I did stick 2 candlesticks I had somewhere else in the house just to start to get ideas. So many of you were great to comment on what color you think I should paint these walls. A few suggestions came in for lavender because of my clothing name, Lavenderclothesline, and I am considering that. I think it would be beautiful to have like a gray type of lavender on the walls, maybe in that corner a velvet chair and some lighting. And like I said, I need a large table with wheels, so I will be looking for that. My idea is also maybe to find a table that would double as a dining room table for the times that I do entertain. I'm not quite sure where I would keep all the chairs. And like I said, I really want to keep this room for a YouTube studio. But yeah, this is stage 1. This is where I am at. And I will keep you posted on how this room develops. And as usual, go out and get what's yours.